just know a pint of ice cream's coming, so I'm good. Oh, because I've got an Andes just up the street from me.
Wow.
Apparently they don't sell shakes on the app though, so I'm really sad about that.
I would just make a shake. No blender.
I could.
And some milk.
I don't actually have any milk.
Desktop audio, my audio. Let's fucking do this shit, boys and girls. Boys and girls. Live scene. Alright. Alright. Hello, everyone. It's been a few minutes since we started playing on this old Twitch thing. So we're back into it, getting into the thick of it once again. Some returning players, some new folk. Good stuff all around though. Just good stuff all around. Let me just go ahead and just gonna scoot Nick's character portrait over a little bit. That was bothering me. I didn't see that till now. It's fixed now. It's fixed. We got it. But yeah, we're playing a very mature D&D-esque game today. System's actually going to be Pathfinder 2nd edition. We've broke our teeth on it already, but now we're getting into the thick of it. 2, we're going to be playing, it's a pretty adult-themed game. There's going to be a lot of shit that people might not like, so if it's not your cup of tea, you can fuck off now, or you can come back and watch it when you're ready. Either or, glad for you guys to come by and say hey. Regardless, you have questions about stuff, ask us in chat, or go ahead and ask us after. Well, we love to talk nerdy, so it is all good. I'm going to do one introduction of the players, have you guys tell who you are and who you're playing, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty and the story of what's going on. So left to right, we'll start with Brett. You're up first. Name, who you're playing, and the cool thing about this is your characters don't know anything about who they were before, except for a few things, and I would like you to include those few things like what my phrase is, and give a description of what you remember you look like. So go ahead.
Okay. I'm Brett, but I go by Undal, a orc elf in a world where that is not common. My character, one thing I know is that on my body there are slits all the way down my legs and my arms across. I don't know how or why. I also have dreams. Dreams of the past, future, I don't know. But I don't know much. That's all I got.
That's fine. Yeah. So, what's the one thing you can remember phrase-wise when you woke up? What was your triggering words that you could remember?
From the beginning.
It was everyone got to pick one.
I thought it was.
It was we accept this fate, and we move past it. Correct? Something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah.
I know.
I thought you were talking about the second dream.
Oh, you're good. I'll give you this one since I kind of put you on the spot. But
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Next in line. Oh, thank you, Brett. Next in line will be Greg. So go ahead and introduce yourself and your character from what you remember of them.
I'm Greg. I'm playing Voth, a Draconic Summoner and also Draconic Eidolon user. I have Zerson as my Eidolon. My character actually comes from a past future. Basically, the one memory flashback I've had is of a more futuristic scene with, a holographic projected image of basically Tiamat and such. So outside of that, the catchphrase I was given was, he will always keep going, take another step.
Okay. Thank you. Last one. Bring us home, Nick.
I'm Nick. I am playing Horus. I am a Magus Witch. My familiar is a little dragon named Abaddon. My big catchphrase for the campaign is, who better to send in the name of light than one who exists of darkness?
Okay. All right. So, with that, starting at level 1, we're playing dual class, free archetype. So that's why you can see fighter, ranger, sorcerer, summoner, magus, witch down at the bottom. It'll be interesting. It'll be a big, crazy amount of big power creep. So this is going to be something that's very epic. At least that's the goal. We will find. We'll find out. Okay, so with that being said, let's set the tone and set the pretty much like a gestalt. But let's set the tone for where you're at and what you've done. The three of you and a fourth person who I'll describe in a moment wake up, and the first thing that comes to your mind is this is the first day you've been alive longer than minutes or hours that you can remember. Your ordeals were all very similar. You woke up in some sort of sack attached to the wall that sort of grows out of this red vine-like structure, but looking at it closely, it's more akin to flesh and teeth and eyes, something that births the poor unfortunate souls, or the damned as they're called down here, into life. And as you found out the first few times, you're born and you're immediately the lowest form of life that you could be: naked, cold, afraid. Most often you are hunted from those sacks. As they fall to the ground, you are a big dinner bell, as people, at least you think they're still people, attack you, and in most cases kill you. Hopefully they do it quick, but for some of you, the depravities of this place were shown very quickly. Death came with snapping bones, blood being slowly drained from you, your body being devoured while still alive. It is, for all intents and purposes, if you were to describe a hellish scene, this is hell. There's no fire, there's no brimstone, there's no devils with pitchforks, at least none that you've seen yet. What you have seen is the crumbling, just cityscapes from every era of every conceivable time that you can imagine. Greg, Voth knows the future. He knows city skylines and, space freighters and things like this. Doesn't know exactly how or why, but you see some of those. Whereas Ondol, you see architecture from ancient civilizations, and powerful old time towers and ruins. Horus, you see the stern structures of castles, keeps, good buildings like that. All of them being slowly taken over by that red creeping vine-like entity that seems to grow small sacks that births individuals, as well as just having time and dilapidation come and pull them apart. They're haphazardly strewn around, and for some places you can actually see them falling into each other, just being picked apart, torn asunder for most parts. A few of the things you do notice and remember as well. It's always cold. The stories of hell you might remember, if you really rack your brain, told of fire and heat. But for the most part, it has not stopped raining since you got here. Cold, fetid, nasty, brackish rain. Just the smell of decay and stagnation is all that brings. Kind of dust, unsettling dust kind of smell. The ground is covered in muck, slime, slick from the water or other fluid that you haven't really put two and two together, but there's blood everywhere. Filth everywhere. The sky is only partially illuminated by the crackling bits of lightning that go through these dark clouds. The only bits besides this odd crumbling architecture, which seems to haphazardly be strewn about, are two structures. One, an encircling, imposing tall wall of smoldering metal. It's the most you could tell. The rain hits it, continues to billow these dark clouds, and they just seem to linger over it. Past that, you don't see much except for the clouds. The other thing that you know is there is a tower in the center. A wrought iron strewn with striations and jagged bits here and there, with rivulets of molten iron being poured out of it. That gives a small amount of illumination, but also just creates perpetual shadows. As you all woke up together, for the first time, not knowing each other, you overcame the denizens of this place, the damned, and were introduced to this world. You were told it is called Dis. They told you welcome to hell, and that if you wanted to get out of this place, you would need to seek exit through the tower. Through some clever wordplay, some of you found out there's another way out, through a hole in the wall, but you'd have to pass through Gehenna. You have no idea what the fuck Gehenna is, but it does not sound as welcoming as going through the tower. You all survived the initial assaults. Your mysterious benefactor handed you some items and said if you meet them there in the middle of that tower, that they would be there to help you escape this perpetual hell. Found your way to a small shelter where we'll pick up the story. A modern day house of all things, where you quickly and absolutely just ransacked the place, finding basic equipment, clothes to clothe your naked bodies, equipment to help defend things, bits of precious things like metals, a small amount of food, some bags. And you met one of the first denizens of this place that didn't try to attack you, and for all intents and purposes, gave you most of the information that I'm recounting now. A man who didn't get the name, but he told you he is a skin doctor. When he says skin doctor, you look at his clothing and it is draped flesh, tanned. A large coat, wraps of some sort, and a mask, very akin to the plague mask of a doctor many, many years ago from a long place. And that's where we'll pick up. As you slept, you regained your resources as you would game-wise, whatever you would get from a good night of sleep and stuff as that is good. Let's see. Let me just double check one thing. All right. You all, as you slept, did not sleep well. Some of you had some dreams, some visions, things along those lines. But the biggest thing is you didn't sleep well. It was just a little too cold. Even with the small fire you had going from bits of furniture and whatever else you could scrape together from this house, it was just a little too cold. It was a little too wet. There was just a little bit too much noise in the background, some screams, some nasty things along those lines. But you're all alive. For today, at least. The day is young. And as you get up, you all get up around approximately the same time. There is no doctor to be found. He seems to have left earlier in the morning. And that's where I'll leave you guys to what you want to do. So, the day is yours. You're all awake. You have basic provisions. I think it's morning. What do you do?
All of the items that we would have found, I would have attempted to identify if there's any magic on them.
How are you doing that?
So I would be using Read Aura in conjunction with Arcana check.
Cool. Can you link those for me real quick? When you use the Read Aura ability, what does it look like to you?
I imagine that my eyes just kind of change shape. Like you kind of get that more just intense. Like I already said, my eyes were a little bit more snake-like, not exactly that, but almost it gets closer to that. Well, now it does get more to that like pointed eye slit rather than the circles that you'd normally imagine.
Okay. Go ahead and use that read aura to give me the identify magic ability. Go ahead and make that roll. Are you doing this on each item? Because if you're doing it on each item, I want 3. If you're doing it just yours, just do 1. And of course, both Ondol and Horus, you guys can not give up your items to him if you want, but it's up to you.
I'd ask if you guys wanted me to.
I'd do my own.
I would put mine out for you to do.
That's gonna at least have a +2 to it, and that one would be mine, and then hopefully I roll better for him. Oh,
Yeah, baby.
Dude, you're crushing it, my guy.
I'm gonna read the aura on mine.
Okay. All right, so Voth, as you read the aura on yours, it's not hard to pick up that it has magical properties, but with an 8, and then a nat 1 4, you can't put your fingers on it for the longest time. So, are you going to just keep trying to? Are you going to just keep trying to figure out the properties, or are you just going to give up? Like, you can do either or. It doesn't matter.
Well, in this case, I'd try to realize I didn't get it, and knowing just kind of how this place works, where it's very much it's kill or be killed, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on and attune to it, and not worry about what the effects or the potential downsides of doing that.
Okay, so instinctively,
Which they were just like hand wraps, right? If I remember correctly.
Yours?
Yeah, I can't remember what mine was.
Yours was a jagged tube of metal. That
Okay,
had
that
a
part.
shattered piece of glass inside, or cracked, not shattered, and had weird markings on it as well, like that of some playing cards, as far as you could tell. You don't garner everything from it, but you do know it's magical. It is very much arcane. As you are dipping into the divine essence of your magic, it kind of pushes out against the world. And Ondol, you feel this as he's trying to do this, right? His magic starts to infuse him, so you can see his eyes shift. Looking at this item, it's baffling to you. There's so much magic in it that it's overwhelming to look at. You're like, holy cow, this is very complex. It'd be like you look at it, you can tell it's magical, and it looks like a ball of yarn that's just way knotted up. You can start to pull these threads and try to figure out what it is. But the few things you do know just looking at the surface of this is that it will allow you, at least in this place, as you attune to it, it'll allow you to see through, well, pretty much anything. You can see through fog and mist. You can see through illusion. You can see through disguise. You can see auras, things along those lines. Don't know exactly what all of that will entail until you start using it to do those things. But you have a feeling that this lens will allow you to see things the way they should be seen. Also, it's just basically acts as a spyglass too, so it's just a magnification of vision. So if you need to look far away, you definitely can, and you won't be hindered by things like the falling rain or fires and smoke or things along those lines.
A very useful trinket.
Mm-hmm. There is definitely a lot more to it. And as you take time, eventually you can unravel more. But there's that. You do Ondol's, right? You decide you were doing Ondol's. You look at his, and it's the same thing. However, where yours was just a bundle of just chaotic, arcane stuff just tucked into it. Just basically someone took as much power as they could and focused it into this thing. They'd shoved it in there, and it was just crammed in, falling out the sides. Ondol's is elegant. It is a beautiful, like, bejeweled, inlaid, just tapestry of awesome. It is absolute order, but it's natural looking. It's like the order of how a tree grows. It's the order of how a stream follows the right path and things like this. it's not complete straight lines, but all of it seems to go together. As you look at this, there is a absolute. You can tell this is not magic you're familiar with. This is old elegance, where yours is raw and designed for power and a show of strength, like the dragon inside. Ondol's is very much sophisticated. But you do find out what it does. Ondol, yours is a bone that's kind of wrapped with what looks to be like white and gold cloth. The white and gold cloth will never dirty. You can clean any surface. You can use it to bandage any wound, and it will never cause infection. It will never tarnished. If you will it to be clean, it will be clean. Always pristine, always beautiful. The bone itself, if used to crush and destroy an object or change its shape, like milling seeds or something like that, you have an idea that might purify it in a way that makes it okay for you. So, like, let's say you took some meat and used the bone to stir the meat, it might purify that food if it was tainted. Or if you use it you boil water with the bone inside, it might make a clean broth rather than a poisoned, fetid pot of fuck you dead water. So yours seems to be very much in that line. And then we get to Horus. So what does your read aura look like when you do it?
I guess for a moment my eyes would kind of flash that brilliant yellow, but then they become darker as it becomes like two yellow like pinpricks in the middle of my eyes.
Okay. All right. And as you focus in, very much a different feel. Like, even if you flashed over and saw, Voth's ball of power, or the elegant, streamlined thing of Ondol's relic, yours is a little bit of both, a little mix of both. As you look, the first thing that you can tell is this is not complete. It's broken. It's shattered. It's the remnant of something. And you can't... obviously it's a sword hilt. It's a tarnished silver hilt, a tarnished blade with those odd runes and that slight teal blue glow that kind of sit through there. The wrap is missing. The pommel is kind of shittily on there still, but the blade, for as shitty shape as it in, it's technically usable. You can use it as a metal dagger if you wanted to. But as you look at it, the magics inside it are subtle. There is a bright, vibrant light, but you can tell it's trapped by something. It's kind of like not trapped, but contained. Like you would put a lid over top of a candle to dim it. You can kind of see that there is an intense power inside this. However, it is contained in a very, what you would on the outside call sinister magic, or a darker magic, but they almost go hand in hand, like they're layered steel, right? Like almost like a Damascus pattern. They go very well together, even though they seem to be antithetical forces. Although you can't, it's very mysterious. This layering of magic and things like that is just very much, this is very hard to do, if not theoretically impossible. It's like trying to layer fire and ice together almost, with light and dark. But what you can tell that the blade is able to do is it can purify when doing damage. So let's say if you stabbed it into something, it would burn clean. It would damage clean something, i.e. it would cauterize a wound. It wouldn't... So you can do damage to repair, or in some cases you might be able to do damage to unlock or things like those, things along those lines. I.e., whereas Brett says it's a tool used to do a natural process, yours is a weapon used to force a process, right? So you need to pry open a door. That thing, that rusted, pitted, nasty-looking silver blade, which for all intents and purposes would probably bend and break, might just be the tool to do it. You need to cut the head off of a flaming golem or something. You might not be burned when you're doing it. It's one of those things where it's like the magic inside is very weirdly specific to a situation, and you have a feeling you'll probably know when those situations arise. But it is a very, very, very deeply powerful magic that you are just barely starting to understand. Y'all rolled like hot ass for this, by the way. Not above a 10. That tried my heart. I was like, dude, I got these great speeches. I'm gonna give them a fuck.
Great update. Great update.
Yeah. So
I
you're
don't
all...
know,
You did
because
bad.
These artifacts are so powerful, we could not distinguish their true power.
The dice tell the story, right? Yeah. All right. So you take about 10-15 minutes in this morning to do that. And you piece together the mysteries and garner what information you can. But that's pretty much all you got right now, unless you guys wanted to waste more time doing so. You could make additional checks later, but who knows what the hell's going to happen.
Only thing I'd note is after kind of we all or kind of look at him, I'll just be like, I find it's odd that such a, well, hate to say it, but weak group carried such powerful objects. Do you think all of the denizens carry things such as this? Or did we just get lucky?
Remember, it wasn't them that carried it, it was the handmaiden that carried these things.
That's right. I'm dumb. That's been a long week.
You all suddenly kind of remember the handmaiden, a red cloaked, brass armored individual with a wicked grin and a soft voice who spoke with great authority. Don't remember much. That's more for the people watching than for you guys, but
yeah, I
the
made
one
that
who
mistake
brought you
so
your
get
items.
that recap.
There you go. Yeah. 5-head
Yeah,
move. I like it.
big brain, yeah.
All right, but continue.
But after we look at it all, I'll just be like, are you ready to set out?
I'd say so.
I would agree. Have we decided where we're gonna head?
I had idle thoughts, but we should just head towards the tower. There's a small part of me that wishes to hunt down the person that killed me last, but it would not get us any closer to any goal.
So to this Ghana then. Is that what I understand?
You heading out of the house then?
Yeah.
Right.
Ready my shit, yep.
You ready your shit, grab the gear that you've decided you're going to take, and step back into the cold, wet rain. You don't have ponchos or umbrellas or anything like that. Your clothes will protect you from the most of it, but eventually they will get wet and soggy and you'll probably need to dry yourselves out. How long do you want to try to walk in this?
How hard is the rain coming down?
Not hard, it's not torrential, it's just constant.
Is it like a drizzle or like a light rain?
Little bit more than drizzle, little less than a light rain.
Okay.
And everything just seems to be wet and dripping and disgusting.
So, you know that period where you start to feel the rain get into your socks, and then you've got the period where you start to feel like you're walking in water in your shoes? I
That
stopped
comes
shortly.
very quickly.
I stopped in between those two.
Understood.
So like you start feeling it get into the shoes, yeah, that's when it's time to get a break.
Let's start
Okay.
heading towards, if that's the case, when we're heading towards the tower, we're also trying to create a course towards a structure.
Okay. So, last thing I'll ask about how you do this. How's the marching look? How do you walk? Are you picking your way through stuff, trying to find cover to cover? Are you brazenly walking along the open paths?
Do we see any immediate threats or anything patrolling, things like that?
I will get that to you once I know how you're walking.
Damn.
Yeah, I was about to say, 'cause I got a fucking spyglass I could use to identify that part now. So.
You could.
Okay.
Also,
Uh,
arrange yourselves top to bottom. Top being the direction of travel, bottom not on this map of who's in front or how you're staggered. 5-foot squares, how you would normally walk in a perfect situation.
I'd say 3 abreast.
Just fucking wall. Just fucking hell yeah.
3 across. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. I don't know. What do you guys think?
4. I've always got my dragon out.
Oh, there you go.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say I got my dragon out too.
I'll place myself down there if you
Well,
want.
yeah. For those, let's describe what each other look like, and your eidolon and your dragon. And I want you to describe how you like the connection between your pets too. So as you guys figure out where you're going to be going, Ondol, we'll start with you. Describe what your character looks like. Now, especially with whatever gear you've strapped onto yourself, what kind of shit are you carrying? Because you were just a naked dude. Now you're a dude with some stuff on. So describe what you look like.
Brett, he's talking to you.
Sorry. Oh, jeez. I thought I heard
Still
that.
don't remember your name?
Wow. No, no, that's not.
That was
Okay.
me last
So,
week, to be fair.
Anyway. All right. So character looks. My skin color is of a dark tannish brown golden color. It's worn. It looks worn, almost like a leatherish, but built body, toned, defined, muscular but not over muscular like a extreme bodybuilder or anything like that. Just athletic and built. In the face, you start to see a difference. A lighter tone, softer cheek line, an elven-looking face, right? Small nose, elongated ears, but everything else gives off an orcish vibe. Grunty looking, hunched in a bit. Hair going back, long brown, dark brown hair, tattered at this point. Not well kept at this point either. A couple scars here and there, most notably the ones mentioned earlier, the lines going all the way down, the arms and legs. And now in the clothing, I'm wearing, tattered clothes found in the house, some not fitting correctly, but good enough to wear out and cover for now. Holding now 2 axes, small hand axes in each hand.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. Clothes actually aren't too tattered, so it's not too bad. Yeah. They look like they're well worn, but they're not pristine. You know what I mean? So.
Gotcha.
All right. Voth, you're next. What do you and your companion look like?
So I've got long red hair, very I'd say lanky, but not. There's definitely muscle tone. Most distinguishable feature would probably be his eyes. They've got like more of an orangish hue to them, and they has a very piercing gaze. As far as the clothing goes, probably look like I just walked out of Hot Topic. Black, heavy pants, some probably long sleeves underneath, as well as like a jacket, like a heavier one. All
Okay.
black.
And what of
As
your
far
companion?
as my companion goes, he is of a magma dragon descent, so you'd see basically a small dragon with a black face with almost a red underglow to it, as well as whenever he's out, you'd see a giant glowing rune that would actually show from underneath my clothing, as well as on the center of his chest.
Okay. Eventually, I'll probably have you draw that sigil because I think that's kind of a cool thing. It'd be pretty rad.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah. All right. So you and Zerson be walking together. Zerson, the name of your wise and steadfast, very stoic, powerful-looking dragon. A very much extension of your actual soul. Very powerful-looking. at least confident in itself. We'll see about the power. All right, and Horace, you're next. What do you and your companion look like?
Let's see here. Horace looks more like a bodybuilder. Thick, really defined big muscles. Let's see here. Gray beard, gray long hair. Very, very quiet and steadfast. Abaddon, his dragon familiar, is more of a tarnished silver. Looks very menacing. Constantly looks like he's about to bite people. And the
Got a
size
wily
of a large
look.
dog.
Yeah, got a wily look in his eyes, like he's always looking for a weak prey that he can play with almost. All right, so the lot of you begin walking, and as I see Horace, you take the lead at the front with Abaddon close behind you. I'm assuming you can actually put your familiars on here too if you want. You should be able to. And then I see Ondol, you be taking the rear with your sorcerer squishy guy in the middle. His dragon walking next to him. Not making any effort to hide the fact that you have a magma dragon looking thing and a little, sinister looking dog like dragon walking with you. Not at all, correct? You guys are brazenly walking with him? Okay.
Yeah.
It's about 30 minutes before your first encounter with a group. You walk heading towards... All right, go ahead. Actually, let's do that. Give me all perception checks real quick so I just get a baseline of what you guys see.
Yeah, I'm constantly scanning the horizon because from what I gather, I mean, there's stuff blocking the way, but it's wasteland, so there's a lot of flat ground, right?
Yeah, for the most part, unless the terrain features of the building would cause changes, it's perfectly flat, like disgusting. And there's just a little bit of standing water everywhere. Splish, splosh, splish, splosh, everywhere. There's not a lot of like dips and lowers unless you can tell something carved or rutted things out. It's just constantly slick. But continue, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so since it's so flat, there's nowhere for people to really sneak up on us, so I'm just constantly scanning the entire horizon with that eyeglass, so we should be able to see anybody coming from a fair distance away.
Okay. The spyglass will give you a +2 to perceptions when you use it. However, your perception is limited to what the field of the spyglass can see. So your peripherals and stuff might be smacked. But with that being said, you do notice a group in front of you. They seem to be picking their way through a few structures. They have small bundles on their backs, wrapped with like leather straps and things like that, of wood. What you can tell is probably scraps of metal, pottery. If you can see it, it looks like almost a few clay jars and jugs and things like that. They definitely notice you. You guys don't make any effort to really hide, just kind of picking your way through the cover. And then probably about 150, 200 feet away, they notice you guys coming down the way, and you can see them sound an alarm. They scatter. Horace, you are the only one who notices that one of them is still hiding close by. They're not gone. Looks like they took to a hiding position.
I would kind of lean back towards Voth and be like, there's one nearby. I'll look out at them hiding, and I'll kind of look directly at them and bring my shield up. And I don't bring my axe up, but I keep it at like the low ready kind of deal. And I just call out, show yourself.
When you say that,
harm.
Sorry. When you say they sounded an alarm, like what do you mean sounded an alarm? Like
They just make noises and stuff. You're 200 feet away, and it's still rain. Hard to hear exactly if they say words, but they make a commotion. An alarm is raised on their end. Noise, hand motions, things like that.
Okay. So did it look like there might have been potential allies they might have been screaming to out in the distance, or more of just a panicked scream?
from your vantage point, you can't tell.
Okay. But I'll just kind of wait for the hiding person to respond to him.
Yeah.
You get no response. You call out to them. You can still see every now and then a little twitch behind. You can point out exactly where they are, Horace. You see them. They're just trying to hold as still as possible, not to alert you.
Okay. I direct Abaddon to take my left flank. He kind of moves to my opposite side.
The smaller dragon slinks alongside you and takes your flank.
So they're behind like some cover or something like that, just a rock.
Yeah, so you can see in front of you. It's basically almost like a T section with two old structures. One looks like some sort of stone and wood hovel style house. Just probably just a normal like couple family household farmhouse kind of thing. And then the other one seems to be mostly ruins, mostly overgrown by the red. You guys really don't have a word for it yet. No one's really told you what it is. So the red crawling stuff that births individuals.
They did.
You-
It's called...
You did. Oh, I don't know if you want to. I don't remember if I told you or not. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you called it the hating flesh.
The hating flesh. That's correct. So the hating flesh has mostly taken that one, and there's a few bulbous-looking birthing sacs sticking out on the side. You'd imagine there's plenty more on the inside and around that structure.
So when he just kind of doesn't answer after a second, I'll just cast an electric arc at that cover, and I'll just basically speak out. My companion spoke, you will answer.
The forceful use of magic, pushing out that bolt of electricity, cuts through that little bit of rain and almost deafens the area with the arc, and it hits and splashes against the cover, blows a little small bit of it away, a little scorch mark on the wall, and standing out, kind of peeking out of the side. Are you devils? What manner of beasts walk with you? They say in a very broken common, but it's a very raggedy, poor-shaped individual. Doesn't look like they've eaten much. Their hair's matted and gross, even with all the rain slicking it down. They have very little in the way of clothes or tools, but big sharp stick in one hand. They look battered, and bruised, and beaten as they call back out.
You must get your eyes checked if you think I look like devil spawn.
He backs away slowly.
Who did you and your companions alert? Are there others coming?
He swallows hard. You can see there's deliberation in his face, and he calls out to you. He says, "The rest of the slaves, I told them to hide. The tribe should be
Slaves.
coming soon."
Slaves of who?
He breathes heavily and says, "The farm."
Oh no, we're in that area.
Oh,
Ah,
Yeah.
I've heard of this farm.
yeah.
Have you escaped it?
He shakes his head. "No, we're well behaved. They allow us free reign to scavenge and bring back. They are maybe 10 minutes behind us." He starts to slowly walk towards you.
I point at him with my axe and I say, "Drop your spear, and we can have a conversation."
Ching, ching, ching. He throws it to the side, and he says, "Come, come." You can see about 5 or 6 more heads start to peek out. People in various states, mostly the same as him, though, walk forward. You can hear the clattering of sticks. They set down some bundles of what looks to be like scrap wood and pottery jars, things like that. And there's about in total 6 or 7 of them standing there. And they walk forward slowly.
You'll keep your distance.
You can see them all just kind of chatting amongst themselves very quietly, whispering. Yeah, yes.
I don't.
You say-
believe- Oh, God.
I was gonna say, you say you serve the masters, and that you're allowed to forage. Does that mean you wish to try to take us back to the farm?
No. They all very profoundly, no, we wouldn't wish that on anyone. We were... Can you... They kind of look at each other, and the one that you called out earlier kind of steps forward and he says, "Can you kill them? Or kill us? Release us from this. I'd rather be born again somewhere else and away from the farm. They have doctors that are good. Self-inflicted wounds they patch up and then make you do worse details. Or worse yet, turn you into the crops. Either free us or kill us. Please." They seem to be very sincere in their pleading.
I don't believe these people are here to cause us any harm. Tell us, though, is there a way around these farms? We mean to go to either the tower or the endless gap.
They look, as you say the tower, they turn towards the iron
Yeah.
tower in the middle of the fucking place. You could see the slender little bit of it rising into the background, illuminated by the lightning crashes. And they go, "That is a long way. And I don't know of this endless gap you speak of, but..." They point, literally, if you were going north and they came from the northeast, they point west as hard as they can. Go that way. Don't go to the east at all. That's the farmland.
The east of the farm. Okay.
Is it on course with our direction or no?
As far as you can tell, you're going to be picking your way through scattered remnants of civilization for a long time. Probably days to get to the tower.
Is the farm territory on that route?
As far as you know, you're probably in it right now. And you don't know the extents of where it goes. If you press them, they don't know. One of them does speak up and say, "I remember I was born once far from the farm into a nice tribe. We never even knew where the farm was."
And I take it they have a way from allowing you to run from them without perishing.
Where would we run to? They control the food. We wouldn't get very far, then they'd scoop us back up and take us back home. They do look tore the fuck up and malnourished.
How many masters are there?
There's the farmer and his associates. I don't know how many there are. Then there's the hired hands, the grunts and the laborers. And then there's us, the field hands, the migrant workers, the slaves. Born into this, and I'll die. And hopefully be born away from this place.
So you say you die fighting with us? If we choose to take out this farmer and his associates.
They look at you with eyes wide. To take you would have to fight your way through the farm. It is vast. This is a massive place. Are you... They look as you say something like that, like even suggesting it. They go, "Are you? Has madness taken you?" Or they look at the dragons and they're like, "Are you heroes? Are you from other places?" The whispers start to pick up. There is a small spark of maybe hope you could see growing in these desperate, downtrodden people. Like, holy shit, what are you guys? Like, this is wild. There's just this, you can see that these people are all on their edge, and you might have just kind of reached a hand down to them, and that might have just lit something in them.
Man, you
I'm
just
gonna
killed
look
my
at
next line.
We'll kill you. Hold still. Gotcha.
I was just about to be like, well, if they wish.
Two different people here.
Zippity zappity zippity.
I look at the one that's done most of the talking and I say, I don't know if we're heroes, but I do know we're here with a purpose. And if you're willing to come with us, then we will give you what we can.
They look at each other and there's just this moment of okay.
Swear it. Give us your oath.
As he says that, I pick up that what was it, a javelin or something like that? Whatever you had.
Yeah, sure.
I pick it up and I hand it to him. And as I do, I look back and say, I do not believe oaths work down here. But trust me.
The words in hell might be very important. Yes. They all look and go, we will, if you can either grant us a merciful death or slay those who would pursue us, whatever you need. One of them looks and he is not on board with this. You can tell he's like, I don't want to risk it. You can see there's something weaseling in his head. He's just like,
Do we all notice that?
yeah, he's very obvious about it. His eyes start darting away and he's kind of like, there's a nervousness.
You're not sure of this.
What's the point in swearing something? It's all pain and death in the end anyway. Are you gonna do it or not? That's all that matters.
Do you wish to only focus on the past, or do you wish to ever step forward to the future?
Here's a dice roll from me. Stand by.
And I'm even using my quoted line.
That's where the dice roll comes from.
Oh, fuck.
He explodes.
Your words hit him like a ton of bricks, and his frail body can't stand maybe 4 bricks to begin with. Drops to his knees and he begins just to cry. And he's like, what future is there? What future do we have anymore? He starts to get angry. There's just now. There's just pain.
Exactly. There is now. So you take what you need and you move forward. Is that not the essence of this place? Everyone takes.
It is.
When he says that, I'll grab one of the pieces of wood that I've been carrying and I'll use produce flame on it and I'll hand it to him and I say, and some of us can give.
Dude, okay, so you guys are melting their bodies right now. Like, you're like, we put some fire on a stick. Whoa! Blowing their mind. Because you didn't do anything to fucking make it happen except for just like, what does produce flame look like?
Just a ball of fire starts in my hand and I just put it on top of the stick so it catches.
It's so fitting that you did that too. one of them looks and their eyes all go wide, and you can see the fire glinting on their like wet, gross skin and in their eyes and stuff. And the one that's been, he says, "Not devils, angels."
I let my halo pop
I
out.
was gonna say, goddamn it,
I was waiting for it.
as you let it go, the walls around you illuminate with this light. The red, the hating flesh quivers and moves, and you can see it basically aborts some of these pods, and just half-formed chunks of flesh and stuff hit the ground and spill out everywhere as it rises and just pulls away from the structures. As they're like, oh, they're terrified. They're in awe. They have no idea what's going on, and you lit a dinner bell. Like, you just like rang a ding dong as the light is so visible from everywhere. Like, this whole place is illuminated by just that little bit of light, and you are just standing there with these 7 people fully enraptured in the ability, like the crazy power of Voth's, like, you take what you have, and I can give to. They're like, oh, yes, okay, they are right there. These, for all intents and purposes, you persuaded them, intimidated them, and then persuaded them again to fucking just there. You have 7 lackeys, for all intents and purposes, to do with what you will right now. They are going to follow you no matter what. Until
For merry men.
you can call them what you want, buddy. You can call them what you want. So what do you do now? As they all stand and they grab the gear that they've collected and their sharp pointy sticks. And
What you said they're all pretty torn up and stuff. Are there like fresh wounds, or are they all
some are
patched?
like, most of them are in various states of healing. They've been through some shit, but there's some fresh wounds, mostly scrapes, cuts, and bruises and things like that.
Okay, but nothing too serious.
They don't have HP loss. They have,
Yeah.
they're warned. They have already failed death saves, pretty much, or death. They're at like dying 3 or some shit. Like,
Gotcha.
They're like almost dead. So.
And how hungry do they look?
They look like if you gave them like an apple, they would be bloated, but they look hungry. Like, they definitely need to eat.
Yeah, I start going into my bag, and I got a bunch of those dry rations I start handing out.
And
I
they
make sure to check them for the slugs or whatever the fuck it was.
the maggots. The
Maggots, yeah.
Give me a perception check as you look through the dry rations.
I was gonna say, while this happens, I would kind of direct us over towards a building that
Jesus
is potentially
Christ.
out of the rain.
It's
Maybe
not
I
hard.
should not have updated it.
It's not hard. Yeah, 6 is good. It was like a DC 5. You sift through the stuff. Easy peasy, yeah. It's not hard. If you rolled a 1, I would have been like, nope, you don't see nothing. There's no maggots in it anyway. I just was... This is me trying to make you paranoid about stuff, and I'm glad that you're rolling dice to make sure. So the paranoia is seeping in, and it's working. So 10 out of 10. But yeah, keep going.
So I start just giving them little bits. And just don't eat it too fast. I'll give you more.
Take shelter, is what you said,
Yeah.
Nick? Okay.
Yeah,
So you guys move to one of the places and take shelter. As they are there, you can ask them whatever questions you want. You can do whatever you want to do with them. They are, for all intents and purposes, going to answer your questions truthfully, as far as you can tell.
I bring my halo back in onto my back.
Okay.
Just if they have any knowledge outside of the farm, as well as any skills they might have.
Skills. Some of them have been here for a while. Basic things, survival stuff. Fire builder. One guy's really good at scrapping, things like that. One of them said they worked as a chef in the gourmand. One of them's like, they all look like terrified at like that, like the gourmand. Oh my god! And he just shrugs. He says, "I can make what meager amounts of food we have work." And he's like, "The fact you have none flesh is. This would trade for hundreds of slaves if you wanted it." You have like a can of peas, it's probably worth like a small army.
That's good to know. Maybe we'll need to preserve this better.
I take a moment. I pull out 2 little metal cups from the kitchen that I grabbed, and I use my draw moisture cantrip and pour it into the cup. And
Okay.
I hand them clean water.
They are absolutely shitting themselves at this point. You've provided them heat, water, a halo. You have powerful dragon-like creatures who are you see Xerxes in front of the door, just like posted, like no one's coming in without a dragon biting them. And you see the little one just moving around. Abaddon's just like slinking around them, looking at them. Like you can see every now and then he goes to like bite them, and he pulls back. He's like, no. Like he's like, I could take this one. I could kill it quite easily. Like he's there just like, fuck is happening? But yeah, so not a problem.
I want to know from them, since I know they've been there, what weapons have they seen these people use? And I want to know what's their daily routine. When do they go to bed? When do they wake up? When are they not working with the slaves? Where are they at? What's their location? Like I'm basically trying to build a start to finish of their day to make a map plan of everything.
Of the farm?
Of the farmer and his associates.
So you're asking, you're basically asking the guy who runs the counter at Chipotle how the CEO lives. You understand that, right? They might not have any idea.
I thought maybe he was the guy that worked on the corporate campus and seen him around and knows his route.
It's more along the guy who's like the prep cook. He just cuts lettuce. This guy's only job is to cut lettuce. That's all he does all day. The other dude makes rice. That's all he does. So, I mean, they can tell you.
In this case, it's like human parts, so it's more of like this guy tends
I'm
to
in
feed
the
others, more of an intestines guy.
I'm in the blood processing area. This guy makes bone broth. This guy purifies water. Those are the things he does. So it's like,
well,
they can give you structural stuff like, this is how, the guards do. Like they have well-fed, well-done squads of guards, like 6 to 12 guys, and they all guard. They keep us very easy to slaughter and kill, but strong enough to pick up and work. They keep them on that edge of alive. They keep us in shitty conditions, and if we die, we just become part of the crop. They recycle people. They farm the hateful flesh and just have huge rooms of just fucking birthing sacks where they just have some slaves sit. Their only job is to just fucking easy kill people to add to the pot. That's all they do. He says there is other industries, but he never worked on that part. These people never worked on that part of the farm. They worked in processing, and now they're into scavenging. So the good ones get to go scavenge because there's a chance they might escape. But he says there's a squad of about 12 guards that even if we ran, they're going to find us. They have food, they have training, they're crazy. Some of them are old soldiers or things like this. He's like, I don't know what I was in life before this, but it wasn't a fighter. He's like, I died and I'm here for whatever reason. I can't even remember. He's like, I've been born 100 times by this point. All I know is I don't ever want to be born back into the farm. He's like, I've tried to kill myself twice here, and each time I was brought back by the doctors they have. He's like, it's horrible. But you do get some structural things. The farm has cleared out spaces. They use slaves to pull apart buildings and constructed their own buildings. They have more than just the hovels and things that they see, which sucks because sometimes new buildings appear in those spaces and try to fucking do stuff, but they have enough slaves and things that they pull that stuff, clean it out, and rebuild. He says the one structure that hasn't fallen is made up mostly of the hateful flesh. He's like, it won't spawn on top of itself, so when new things come in, it avoids the red stuff. He says that's where I know that's where the farmer and his family and his associates work. and they rule from on high in that place.
Do you know what they use the flesh for?
Yes. What do you mean?
You say they farm it. Do they eat it? Do they use it as a
He explained
manufacturing?
They
Oh,
use
okay.
to get the sacks. And then
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
shot
Is that the
people-
only thing though?
Yeah, he's like you can't eat the red stuff. It'll kill you. He's like,
Okay, so just more and more sacks.
yeah, he's like, we consider it, an orchard. We harvest the fruit of the tree, not the tree.
How is it cultivated? How do you grow it? Tend it?
Well, you take a little bit of the crop and you spread it out where you want it to grow, and you give it a lattice work to eat off of and utilize. And eventually it'll follow the lattice work and grow. He goes into a very gory description of how they chop people up and string them along spots to grow it, and then they bunch it up to where the sacks grow in certain shapes and things like that. Literally, it's farming. He's describing farming. It's just disturbingly macabre and grotesque.
Just instead of tilling a field, you carve body parts up into the field.
You make a lot of people dunnage and throw it on top to make sure the red stuff keeps growing more people.
Cool. It's nasty.
I ask if the guards that are following them are wearing armor.
You know, it's a couple of them have leather with bone. He's like, advanced armor. More than leather, less than metal. Studded leathers, scale mail, things like that.
Do any of them have metal weapons?
He says the commander, or the sergeant, whatever you want to call him. He goes, yeah, he'll have a metal weapon. They usually have one or two with metal weapons.
Okay.
The one who follows us is a man named Brutus. Carries a big cleaver.
Okay. I would ask them if they have seen anything similar to, as I pull out my hilt and I show them, have they seen anything similar to this?
That's a really good question. Time to roll a dice. High or low, Nick?
Hi.
Nice.
45. None of them seem to know where it is or any other pieces or anything like that.
Cool. I look at my two compatriots and I say, they're weak. They know things about the farm that we don't. Let's not use them on the initial attack. We'll take out the guards. I'll look over at Ondal and I'll be like, if they've got a metal cleaver, I think you would be good with it. We use... And I look at the one guy that's done most of the talking for us and I'm like, we're going to use him as bait. We set the trap. He calls for help. As they come in, he explains and then we engage. What do you think? What do you think?
It's a good plan. I'll just kind of look to them and be like, are there other of your compatriots that these guards are still looming over?
No. There's two other scavenger groups. But we don't know of them or where they're at.
Would they be loyal to them if we were to attack these people?
More than likely.
So, if we end up having to fight the guards, we will take care of them. However, if any other slaves try to engage, we'll ask for your help with them.
They nod. They say, okay.
Let's set our trap.
Okay. So, just to take this in, you all plan to set a elaborate trap where you're utilizing these individuals as bait, with the main guy calling the guards over to do something. Getting the guards into one area and then you jump them? Okay.
Yep.
That's a pretty solid thing. Go ahead and set up your surroundings how you'd like in here. I'm just going to do a little quick freehand draw. I believe it's yeah. Let's just go here. Right here is a little bit of debris. Here's some other debris. Here's the corner of one of these hovels. Here's some debris in the middle of the road, and the other side of the hovels is right there. So anywhere where you want to set them up, you can. And then were you going to utilize them to fight or no?
No. I was suggesting we use just the one guy that's done most of the talking to draw them in and say, do something along the lines of, help, help, there's people that have attacked us kind of deal.
Okay.
To draw them in, and then once they're in the kill zone, that's when we engage them.
Okay. He informs you they'll be coming from the north and the east, so they'll be coming in from the top of the map down. Okay. Let's go ahead and throw that to the battle map so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Pow.
Right. Yeah, the only way we'd want them to join us is if their other
gets out of hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I am gonna put my headset down. You guys talk and plan amongst yourselves for about like 3 to 4 minutes. If you have any ideas of things you're gonna do, attack plans, role play amongst yourselves. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, but I'm also gonna take my headset off so you guys can come up with a plan without me doing shit. So, I'll be right back.
All right.
We ran away. No.
Yeah.
Exactly. We flee. We kill them all in their sleep.
But I see what you're trying to do.
I'm right there.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was thinking, like, pull them into that area and then we engage. So, like, I can rush in from over here, and then, because my forte is getting way more into melee quickly. Or I can always come in from over here, and Brett can come in from the shorter distance.
Where's the shorter distance at? I'm trying to get
the right side over here.
So here's the short, and our guy is
like
going to be where Greg is, right? Where's we put this?
Try to draw them in from the top. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I want to be on the edge here. Okay.
Yeah, and then hide right there, and then I'll hide like right over here, kind of deal.
I see what you're doing. Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna hunt him right away.
Yep. Exactly. You come in strong, and then I'll come in from the other side, and then the two of us will just flank and pick apart. That's kind of my thought, because there's quite a few of them. So.
Yeah. We could hopefully do one by one. Where are we keeping the rest of the people at again?
We're just gonna leave them hidden in whatever structure we hidden in right now.
So just a little bit away. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because I didn't know if we wanted to really use them yet. Probably not.
I'd say let's use them on the farm for fodder if we need to.
There we go. Okay, cool. Great plan.
Fucking, now it's not letting me unselect one of my characters. The fuck?
Hate when that happens. Hit escape.
Yeah, no, that says reload application or log out.
Just reload the page then.
I don't wanna.
Yeah, and then if Greg wants to come in on the back angle, like behind the debris field right here, opens up some shit.
Alright, back in it. You guys ready?
I think so.
Alright, I'm going to just put this little guy is your adept. He's the guy who's been talking with you and all that good stuff. Alright.
Can't delete the broken icon of Abaddon.
I'll send it to the Shadow Realm. You're good.
Thank you.
All right. So.
Yeah. So, I'm taking cover in the rubble up on the side, and I'm going to try to hide. So I'm going to get kind of low, and I'm going to have Abaddon do the same thing. So we're going to pretty much try to hide amongst the rocks. To hide, and I'm going to stealth. You want a stealth roll? stealthy person.
I think that's still within range. Just double check. I have Zerson over with you guys.
All right. So, as you guys discuss and kind of plan your ambush, you can see in the distance, well, you hear it first. You hear the screams of a very angry warrior calling out, "Servants, where are you? Where have you run to? You will be certainly disciplined for this. Come back. You better have found something worthwhile." As there is anger in this voice. There's also a air of confidence and arrogance in it. And then stepping into view, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals with one that has a cleaver in his hand and what looks to be almost comically like a wide-brimmed hat, like a cowboy hat. He also has a whip. All of the rest of them seem to have what looks to be ropes, things like that. And they are covered with ragged-looking leathers that have been patched together. Very sturdy-looking, like armor, like leather armor and stuff like that. Most of them here have bone weapons and things along those lines. But the one in the middle who has the big hat on pretty much has the nicest, like, you could imagine metal weapon here. A huge, overlong cleaver. Like, it's the kind you'd use to, like, butcher a tuna or something like that, like, for sushi. It's vicious looking, and it is covered in wet blood. Even in this rain, you can see the crimson dripping off of it. As they are like, "Come, come," as the one says, Brutus over here. Two of us have fallen. They cannot walk. We've gathered all the supplies. We've kept them safe. I was awaiting your return." As the individuals begin to fan out. How hidden are you, Ondal?
I am trying to stay pretty hidden at this point still.
Let's get a stealth. Get a stealth.
I love it.
You want a stealth from me as well, or no?
Yeah, if you are hiding, let's go ahead and do that up.
Please.
We'd all get some cover bonuses too.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see.
I rolled an 8 and I was getting 3.
Mine was the 8.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. That much better, but
All right, if it's above a 10, you're fine.
Okay.
If it's
What
not,
bonus do we get from cover?
what's the cover bonus to stealth?
Usually like, I want to say partials +2, or fulls +5 or 4 or some shit like that.
Are you sure that's not just to armor class? Because that's what that sounds like.
Pretty sure it adds. I'm pretty sure it adds to it.
Sure.
'Cause you have the concealed status right now.
Cool. We'll give that a you'll get that bonus. You guys, for all intents and purposes, they don't expect this ambush either, so I'm gonna discount them as not noticing it. You are very well hidden as best you can, but you can see the exchange with the individual walking forward and Brutus moving forward as well. And he goes, "What happened? Why are they injured?" He says, the hating flesh shifted and it caused some of them to fall from a height. Their legs are mangled. They can't walk. You can see he raises the cleaver like he's about ready to strike this guy down. You all have, I'm going to say, an action, because you're springing a thing. If you wanted to interfere, you could. Otherwise, Brutus is definitely going to cut this guy down.
Yeah, I'm gonna be blowing some breath. let's see. Let me double check. I think I did it wrong.
Do we only get a single action, or do we get our normal?
Just
three
the three actions, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and just roll initiative for all these guys, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just pretty sure it's not a 30-foot cone. I think it's a burst. Let me double check.
From Xerxen? I don't know. I thought it was a pretty big cone.
Good thing I didn't move yet.
Okay, no, it is a cone. Alright.
Did it always tell you the amount of experience that's awarded on the fucking encounter tracker? Did not fucking notice that. That's super cool. I'm always living on another sheet like, how much XP are these fucking kids getting?
Yeah.
That's cool.
When I see Xerxen kind of stand up that he's gonna blow fire, I'm gonna rush in and swing at the big dude.
Okay. Go ahead and resolve those all together. Just start rolling and doing your things. Target your creatures that you're going to be doing and things like that. All the good stuff.
Because I'm going in from the opposite side, right after the breath.
So as you guys start to move, you can see the last things he does. He says, "Worthless pup," as he rings his axe like he's ready to come down. You all spring to action. Let's go.
This guy.
As for this one south him, so I'd not hit him. Huh.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one you just pinged, Nick, is our friend, right?
Yeah, that's our buddy.
Okay, I wouldn't hit him, but
The other four.
yeah. Oh my god.
Still on my map because I have old tokens on mine, but
Just like that. Alright, I'm just gonna roll a d6, and they're only gonna have to make a fucking DC 17.
All right. I would like all of you to add yourselves to the initiative tracker too, if you could, please.
Let's see, select twice.
You said reflex?
Yeah.
you hit my dice.
Yeah, well, my dice rolled shit against
Thanks for the boost.
Do y'all roll? All right, you guys are on.
yeah.
Do you got to roll for your Eidolon and stuff, or they just go on your
It's
turn?
same as main.
Okay.
Yeah, same turn.
All right. So when we start off, Ondo, you'll be moving first, but let's go ahead and just resolve as you guys did all your actions. So DC 17 saves, you said? Reflex?
Yep, reflex. If they critically succeed for 0, half for save.
God damn, you got everybody in there. Ondol, I'm assuming you're timing it not to get the breath weapon to hit you?
Yeah, that's the initial call for us
Gotcha.
to come out of hiding.
Okay.
Nice. That recharges next round.
And so let's go down the line here. Okay. With that being said, where's the damage and stuff?
So 3 fire damage.
3 fire? Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Made it, fail, made it, fail, fail. Made it, fail, made it, fail, fail. Alright. So you do unfortunately catch
No,
the dude.
I didn't redraw it. I meant to say it missed him. I just didn't redraw the cone.
Oh, well, I rolled for him too, so. Good thing, because he rolled a nat 1. He would have been fucking
Yeah.
incinerated. Okay, so the 4 of them then. Alright, so Brutus fails his check, and he takes -3. This guy, it's for half.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is a half round up or half round down? I'm assuming down.
It's whatever the fuck the button click does. I'm assuming it's built in. I would
Okay.
assume it's probably All right, and then let's go ahead and do both of your guys' other actions. So go ahead.
You want to go first, Brett?
Yeah, sure. So I just want to make sure.
Try to pincher him at the same time as when.
Yeah.
So there's a
And
gout of flame, and then two of you come rushing in to the side to fucking hit him as the cleaver's coming up. Okay. Go ahead and make your attacks.
Am I in the right spot though? I just want to make sure my character is the big guy.
You're
The
good.
pink?
Yeah.
That's the big guy. Okay.
This is that's the big one. You can delete that.
Yeah, that's what
Cone.
I'm trying to do.
Okay.
He would be off guard. That's the goal.
Yeah. Okay. How do I do this? So it was an action for us to move, right?
Correct.
And we still have 2. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and hunt prey. I'm gonna go ahead and now turn on hunt prey and then twin take down.
That's pretty good. All right, let's get those attacks.
I can attack off that, right? I have to actually hit the attack. Okay. So do this battle axe. Wait, wow, what's happening? Oh my god.
Yeah, click the strike button.
Yeah. All right, battle axe first. Jesus Christ. I
You
forgot that's-
swing, and your first attack strikes the cleaver and actually moves it and your weapon aside, but it definitely misses. Go ahead and roll again.
Okay. Now I just want to make sure. Do I take the apply multi attack? Okay. So second with the multi attack.
13.
You don't have multi-attack, so that's the benefit of that, is it doesn't apply until after both your strikes.
Oh, so then I guess +2. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I get it now. Thanks, Rick.
And if you target him when you do this, it'll actually do the attack roll against his AC.
Yeah. So a 15 to hit does hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Oh my god.
You strike him, and the first hit takes the cleaver off course, and the second one you come in right under his arm and right where there's no armor, and you just feel that nice wet give as you're like, "Puh!" and you pull out, rip out. He's definitely hurt, like very badly. That's for all intents and purposes, that's a mortal wound. He's not looking too good. However, he's still standing, surprisingly, this big guy. I think that's all your actions, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
Nick, let's get yours. What do you get in there?
Okay. I run in, do the same, and as I see him sweeping the cleaver aside, I go for that neck chop. Is my
Hell yeah.
goal. Fuck. Okay, I missed.
14. Misses by 1. Sadly. Your attack, as the axe pulls him forward, strikes against that kind of bone-slatted splint mail and just kind of shink and just scrapes off. Barely.
And my second swing.
Second swing.
What are these rolls?
Hot
bad.
dookie butt.
Hot
Bad.
garbage. Hot garbage. All right. That's all my actions.
You swing once and it goes across. You come back to go again, and he just gives you a boot, and you just kind of as he's reeling from the flame and the arm shot. He manages to kick you away. And that's the surprise round. So let's go into initiative order. Ondol, what do you do?
Okay. Now this time I'm a little angrier. Okay. So let's do it this way. I don't know how this is going to work with the roll, but okay, so now I'm going to use for my first double slice.
All right.
So, 2 attacks using the current mold, so no penalty yet, same target. Okay, so let me just roll those quick. So we have the first strike with the battle axe. Boom. Please, please. I can't. I hate this game.
Ting! This one again, you can see he backhands the cleaver and smacks the fucking attack out of the way, just opening your fucking arm just up. But let's get that other attack roll.
Yeah, becoming the main character. Okay.
Becoming the main character.
The second one, no, it's a double, so it's just a regular roll. Oh my god, fine.
The dice giveth, and they taketh away. In this case, they definitely giveth. A 29. That definitely hits. So go ahead.
Does it crit?
You need 10 more than their armor
Yeah.
class, correct? That definitely is a crit, so
Oh,
you're
that's-
gonna roll
okay,
double
okay.
damage, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Just
critical hit.
Yeah, just roll the critical.
Just hit critical. So,
12 points of damage. Your first attack is batted away by a deft block from the dude, but as he opens himself up, he does not see the second axe come in and just right in the fucking face. As yeah, he definitely takes that. And that bloody stick of the axe right into his face pulls out, and there's just an arc of crimson that just flashes. And if this was a Zack Snyder movie, it'd be a far shot, that slow-mo, this arc, and there would be a lightning behind it, and you just see red, as you pull out the axe, and he's just got a gaping wound in his face. He drops to the ground. That one is definitely defeated. Anything else? I believe you have one action left. Because a double slice is 2 actions, right?
it does count as 2, right? Yeah, because it's each sit. So, damn, there's no one next to me.
You can always step up though. Next turn.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So there's 2 guys ahead of me here, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, wherever they are on the map, you see them. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, the only thing that, like I said, my map is showing 2 of my character tokens, 2 of Greg's. My map's.
Yeah, I don't know about yours. You might want to reload.
I might have to reload it while you guys are doing this. But yeah,
That's
okay,
okay.
I step up to those 2.
So you step up.
And I
Okay.
ready stand. Yeah, yeah.
You do this, and as you just pull the axe out and then take that step forward in great confidence, you guys can see the guy who you used as bait drops. He was gonna drop to the ground anyway, and he's like, oh fuck! You guys took out Brutus with a gout of flame and less than 6 seconds of just pow, just fucking killed him. Blew this guy's mind. But after that, the next person is the mercenary. This one from the back comes running up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right directly on top of you, Ondol, as you gain the off guard condition. I believe, or do I have to be here? It has to be direct lines for the off guard.
Well, you got to be able to draw a line between the 2.
Okay, cool. So that is definitely a line. So you are off guard. And this one will definitely take some swings on you. He comes at you with a club. With, let's see, 1 and 2 strikes, right? Actually... actually, as he runs by, he calls out to you. As you you instinctively look, and there is he reaches into his pouch and he throws something at your face. I need you to give me a reflex saving throw. DC is 16. As he throws pretty much a bag of shit in your face.
Ha!
My God.
Literal stink bomb.
He's hitting you with dirty fighting. Oh, whoops. Can you-
Just to make sure.
Go ahead.
Am I getting hit? Is that who it
Yeah,
was?
that's to you. Yeah,
Okay.
he's basically throwing shit in your eyes.
Sorry, I'm just reloading all my sheets here. And then what roll did you want to?
Reflex saving throw,
Reflex.
DC 16.
Let's go ahead and roll that real quick while I open up my other stuff. Don't again. Nah! Oh.
A 12. Not good enough. You turn and you get splattered in the face with this just disgusting, gross, fucking ick. But the thing that is really bad about it is your eyes begin to burn instantly as you gain the blinded condition.
Oh, Lord.
You close them instinctively, but not quick enough. That ends his turn, however. The next mercenary looks at the dragon, Zersin. Is like blown away by it, but he's hurt. He takes a small step to the side and just decides, you know what? Swing for the fences. So 1 and 2 on Zersin. Oh, whoops, I should probably target him, huh? We will do. An 11 misses, and a 10 misses. As he brings his club up, Zersin simply takes 1 step, and it slashes into the ground, and then he brings it up again, and Zersin, holding the pose, then again moves slightly out of the way as it misses, just putting on a clinic of like, just sweep the pass. Like, just in him like the, nah, bro, I'm a dragon, you can't get me. But that is that poor creature's turn. The next one steps forward. Whoops. And goes side to side with the other one as he moves in to strike you, Ondal, the recently blinded. And he is going to go for that strike. 2 club attacks. One manages to strike you. As you are unable to see, you feel the weight of a club strike you in the face, as it definitely hurts. You are struck for a total of 5 points of damage. Escape. It's funny. I forgot that if I target your token, I get to see what you see. So you see everything at grayscale because you're blinded. I was like,
great,
did I break my shit?
Or question marks. I don't get to see
you can't
the
even
rolls.
see the rolls.
Nope. I'm fucking
Oh, I
blind,
can't
bro.
see the rolls either. He's
got-
rolling.
That's. Yep. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not telling you all this stuff. You just know if you get hit or not. So, the first one, you feel that sudden shock as your world goes white and just sting. As the next one, you manage to duck back as you feel a whiff in front of you. However, he does cause you to cry a significant amount reflexively. With that, you're pretty sure you're probably going to be able to see next round as you clear out a lot of your eyes, but that is its turn. Let us go here. Alright, the next creature moves forward. This one taking a little bit of precaution here. He moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, moves up to the dragon, and he is also going to make a few strikes. Two club attacks. Actually, would he know that? I don't know. No, he's just gonna swing. We'll keep it simple. Alright, 2 club attacks. The first one misses horribly. Nat 1. As, again, Zersin takes a step back as a club comes falling. And then he moves into the dude and bumps him back as he goes again. 2 critical misses on Zersin, by the way. Critical misses. Absolutely just nope. He just bumps the dude back. Just kind of bumps him. That one not doing the best there. Alright. It is then Voth's turn. What do you do as you see the melee starting to build?
First I'm gonna go ahead and let's see if this works. Oh, it does. Fuck yeah. I will go ahead and we're gonna act together, and I'm going to throw down a caustic blast.
Okay.
So they're gonna all make DC saves right there for half, and on a crit fail they'll get persistent or 1 persistent acid damage.
So all 3 of them.
Yep.
Said reflex.
Yep.
Okay.
And then whoever's are they all still standing?
What was the DC again?
17.
So they all take damage.
7
okay.
acid damage.
So this one is gonna take that damage. This one takes that damage. And this one takes that damage. You bloody all of them. 2 of them, you can see as the acid explodes and bursts out, rips through their already kind of singed flesh, and they start to drop to the ground as they melt into puddles. One of them still stands, but 2 do fall.
Alright, and then Zersen's gonna also make 2 strikes. One on, well, first I guess we'll try the first on him. Make sure I'm doing this properly at that. Let's try with the claw first.
Against that guy, you miss by 2.
Alright. Attempt with the tail.
And that one he's hopping around trying to wipe acid off him, and the tail just barely misses.
Is that the one that rolled a 4 by chance?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, sure.
Okay. Just because he'll have 1 acid damage persistent.
Oh no, the ones who took that stuff are dead. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. That's it then.
All right, cool. After that, the hellbound robber is dead. The cultist is dead. Horus, your turn.
Alright.
There's 3 mercenaries standing still.
See, Ondal is taking some shit to the face. So I move.
Literally took some shit to the face, actually.
Yeah, just poop everywhere. So I move behind that guy. And going to swing on him. Oh, he should be off guard. Be flanking him.
All right. Ooh, all right. He is, in fact, off guard as you move to flank him.
First swing.
The first swing. A 15, that hits. As you swing against him, you do find purchase. Go ahead and roll damage. Target him, that works.
Do 12 damage.
Yeah. As you come in, you kind of move in, sweep a quick shot to his leg, sets him off guard, grab him by the shoulder, just gut him. He takes that axe, just the fucking side of it, right into his thing, and you drop him. Don't even swing the axe, you just push him into the axe as he drops.
Wonderful. And then so
Leaves
one action,
2
action.
damn near dead mercenaries left. What'd you bring it up for the whole class, Brett? Thinking about a snack break
after
myself.
Finishing him, I'm gonna run up to the ones that are fighting Xerxen and kind of do the hooah as I'm getting closer to him.
You move in, definitely causing an intimidating strike, or striking an intimidating pose against them. Anything else? I think that's everything, correct?
Yep, that's everything.
Goes to the top of the order. Ondal, your turn. You can feel the burning still there, but the vision returns slowly as you are no longer blinded. And as you can see, there's 4 dead fucking people all around you. 2 of them bubbling with acid, just one of them's in the back. You can feel blood. You can see the blood just pouring out of his side. The gaping face wound on the mercenary, and then you just see Horus running. He's right next to these last 2 who are caught between Horus and a dragon, so they're pretty much in a bad way.
I pick whatever one looks the least battered.
Okay, that would be the one at the top.
Perfect. Oh wait, no, that's in my vicinity.
Yeah, this guy or the other guy?
Oh, that's it. Those are
Those are
only
it.
2.
Let's see, you
Oh
guys.
my
4
God.
around you are all dead.
Not a lot of
Wow.
lot of murder in this small
Okay.
burst of time. A lot of murder.
All right, so yeah, so then let's go ahead and move up behind this guy. Right? That
Yeah.
guy's still alive, right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then let's go ahead and
Yeah, there's a lot of burst going on.
yeah,
Double
let's
slice. Let's get those attacks.
double slice it again. Let's do it.
Mhm. Yeah. Go ahead and just roll the damage. He dies. I guarantee you can do more than 2
yeah.
damage. He's dead. Yep. Okay.
You never know with these dice.
You never know. He's like, son of a bitch. No, you overkill him. You just kind of move up. One hand axe goes on his shoulder, pulls him back right into the side of the throat. He drops. And then you have your other attack. What do you do? Technically not within range of the other guy, but
Right.
who knows? Maybe you could throw it.
Okay, that was gonna be my question. Is there a way to throw
Sure.
the melee weapon? But I'm trying to figure out how to. What would I roll for that?
If you're using the hand axes that he gave you, there would have been a throw and attack.
Oh, I
You
see.
throw hand axes. Battle axes you can't throw.
Right. Okay. Because I could slash or turn it to versatile. Yeah. Okay. Or piercing. But that's
There are weapons with a thrown property that you'd want to grab.
I'll let you throw it at a -3.
There you
Yeah, it's just better than moving. Yeah. Yeah. I'll throw the boarding axe because it's a more agile air axe.
You let it loose.
I'll do a. So since it's part of the double strike, I could use still no penalty, right?
Sure.
And then
The only
just take
penalty
the
I'm
3 at
giving
the
you
end,
is
right.
yeah, minus.
Yeah.
Minus a 3.
Okay. So I'll do the regular roll and then minus whatever 3's off this. So 15.
15, I believe hits. Armor class is 14, so yeah.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Woo! You throw it, go and roll damage. 8. Oh my goodness. I can't target this guy. There we go. Bam. Mercenary takes no damage. It's whatever. I'll just make him take 8. So he only had 5 left anyway. So as you come forward, you throw the axe. It strikes him in the face, or top of the chest, more likely. And you can feel just the spray of blood as he gasps and falls to the ground. Ending combat for now, as there are no visible creatures left. Sound of the rain is all that you hear. Be right back.
If you use a hatchet, hatches have thrown 20 foot.
There you go.
But does the hatchet give you piercing
It's
or is
finesse.
it finesse? Okay.
I'm gonna look at Ondal, who took some swings, and I'm gonna look at you and be like, "Are you okay?"
I shrug off. I guess if I still have the remnants of this shit on my face.
I mean, the rain's washing it off, but yeah.
Yeah. What I was thinking was I was gonna take the cloth from my bone, like my bone wrap cloth that I have, and I was gonna clean myself, or at least my face. Like use it to wipe.
Sure.
Not looking to give me any special properties. I just don't want shit on my face, even if it's raining or not. But I would clean myself off and tell you, I faltered a bit there, but these men are weaker than I expected.
Indeed, I expected more of a fight. Did you get hit as well, Nick?
Nope.
Okay, just Brett.
Expected more of a fight. You guys did ambush a group of people. It was an extreme challenge for you. You did the right thing. If it was a straight up fight, you probably wouldn't have had that initial damage to take down the guy who had the buff ability for the rest of them. So yeah.
True.
I think it was fun.
Don't get cocky, motherfucker, because
No,
I will
no,
fuck
no,
you.
no.
I will fuck you. with the longest
Roleplay.
dick, the biggest, fattest dick. I
I'm
know,
role
just
playing my
playing.
character. Okay.
My next portion
So
was,
my
I'm sure
character
there's harder
would
things
do-
will come
Yeah.
as we travel closer to our destination.
Mm-hmm. The individual who sees you just make short work of these guards who've terrified the rest of them for the longest time, stands up and he says, "Oh my." And he runs over to Brutus. He starts kicking the fuck out of this dude's head, just smashing it into the ground, just turning it into a paste. Fucking goddamn, just expletive strewn fucking string of hate towards this dude.
And I thought you said you wanted to fight. There's fighting you yet.
Just, it's very gross. He's just turning this guy's face into paste. But the rest of everybody starts to come out, and they look at you guys like, oh my. And they get to work. They start stripping these guys of their clothes, their gear.
I
things like
take
that.
Brutus's armor,
Okay.
and then I'll look over at Ondal, and I'll be like, I think you should take the cleaver.
I go to pick up my original axe as well too.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of tell him, yes, weaponry down here could be very useful. I will take that. And you the armor. Is there anything else that we could pilfer off these guys that are worth of value?
Stand by.
I was about to say, yeah, rations. I want that. I want
Like
that kind of
anything,
stuff.
yeah.
Water.
We're
I can
losing.
get us the
Guys,
water. The
you
water is
got-
the easy part.
You got like a cup trick, I know, but like we can't use that while we're out walking, right? We need to still. Cause all the brackish water would kind of get it mixed in.
Well, I'd look at you and I'd be like, we take the time, I can produce clean water.
We need to be inside shelter to do it, though, correct? If
I
you do
would
that
say
in
so.
the rain, would it not mingle?
Yeah.
As you kind of go through this thing, that, like I said, they start going to work. They are meticulous, as they are butchering them too. Like they are food. They are just carving them up. You can see they open up the jars, and they're trying to bleed into there and keep the fluids and things like that. They start just going through. There is a slew of just bone weapons if you wanted, mostly clubs and things like that. The armor I need to look at. What's the next tier armor better than what you have? Like if
I have no armor.
Okay, so this would be like leather, studded leather.
Okay.
Hey, quit being a big old booty head, Miska. Sorry, doggies be screaming over here. He's about to catch hands, man. Holy shit. The hellhounds be coming. Alright, hold on.
Is it leather armor or leather lamellar?
Let's try. What's the difference? Tell me what the bonuses are.
Let's see. Leather armor is AC bonus of 1. Dex modifier cap is 4. It's light armor. Leather lamellar. It's also light armor. It's the same thing.
There's just I want to say there's some differences at the end of it, right? So
The way I described it makes sense for it to be bone lamellar armor. So let's just give it it's the leather armor. Or studded leather, if studded leather is a thing. So
Yeah, there is studded leather.
yeah, so it's studded leather armor.
Okay.
while they're kind of like going at these corpses, I'm like they're asking like, you know, what parts are useful, what do they do with each part, that kind of stuff.
Give me a persuasion check.
Sure.
It's not very hard. See what you got.
I'm pretty good at that. Remembering it's diplomacy instead of fucking persuasion.
Good, 15. Yeah, he starts to show you. He's like, well, obviously there's the meat. He's like, as he's like chopping up and ripping and tearing as best he can. He has like a sharp piece of stone that he's using to like cut. He's just like, he's like, we can take this down. He's like, right now I'll just take the limbs so we can bundle the corpse. Go with that. He's like, we try to save as much fluid as we can because it's easier to make distilled water from blood than it is to boil the nasty gross water. There's still a chance you might not boil out all the gross. He's like, but at least the blood's usually clean. He says, we can distill some water out of that. The rest of it will make like this fine like blood powder kind of stuff that's useful for something. He's like, I don't know what they used it for, but they kept it. He's like, the organs have different properties like that. He's like, some of them are good. He just takes one of the dude's eyes and just throws it in his mouth. He's like, I like eyeballs. They're pretty good. Starts chomping it down. Pretty disgusting.
I'll take the other one.
Yeah, cool. You gonna eat it?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a little counter on my sheet here. You are now at 2.
Were they all humans?
Yes. For simplicity. Yes, for simplicity, we'll just say they were, but you don't think that it's specifically a human-only faction or anything like that. But yeah, he just continues down. Oh, you can use these for this. This is for this. He's like, sometimes some of the doctors would ask for specific organs, like kidneys and things like that, to do whatever they do. He doesn't know, but he knows how to butcher, and he's pretty good at it. He's chopping things out, putting them in different little bits of cloth and leather wraps that he has. And he puts them in his sack and takes all those good bits. And for the most part, once he's hollowed out the guts, taken some of the good stuff, he puts the limbs inside the body, takes a bit of that leather, wraps it as tight as he fucking can, and makes like a little compressed bundle of person. It's disgusting to watch and actually unnerving. As all of you witness this go on 6 times, the bits that they can't use, the head of Brutus is pretty much cleaved in 2. Looks like a pistachio at this point. It's pretty fucked up. But for the most part, the rest of them have that. All of them wear leather armor, and then the one leader had studded leather. If you guys want to wear their armor, you can. Just realize a couple of them might be a little broken, so... But I'd say with 6 suits of it, you could probably say you've salvaged the good stuff and won't need to repair it. The one large metal cleaver, and then that's pretty much it. Some rations. Each of them would have 2 additional rations on them of questionable meat with some sort of jelly kind of thing next to it. And yeah.
Do any of the scavengers have any of that, like, dust from the blood on them?
He says no, but I know how to make it. He's like, it's not hard. You just need a couple containers, a fire, time.
When we rest next, I'm curious if it has any magic properties.
Okay. As you guys take the time to do this, it takes a little bit. What do you do next? The scene is now suddenly bloody, butchered ground, as well as a little bit of scorch marks. The smell of battle is still there. You do.
How wet are we?
You're soaking at this point.
Okay. I'll look at the 2 of you and be like, I think shelter would be a good idea.
Yes, let us dry off for a bit. If they had any wood or anything like that, we'd make sure to take that.
Then we make our way towards the nearest enclosed building that's not covered in the hating flesh.
Okay. Well, almost all the buildings have a little bit. You just try to go for the ones with the least amount. Yeah, and you make your way. You walk for about maybe 10-15 minutes away from the fight into another place. And it's just a small, little, out-of-the-way, couldn't even tell what it is, some square structure. But the rain, continues its thing, but inside the structure, it's a little quieter. You find yourself huddled with tired, but now not as hungry. As you can see, they've been nibbling on some choice bits. Individuals who have There's 7 of them, and 6 of them are carrying heavy packs now. But yeah, a lot of them cram into here. The rest of your dragons go inside, and you guys go inside as well. It's shelter for now, but it's pretty barren. Just stones left, walls, masonry.
Any roof coverage?
There's stone roof, yeah.
Okay.
You can tell because I turned the rain sound down, so it's only outside ambience now.
Okay. Yeah. Well then.
Settle down, get a fire going.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of what I got.
Alright.
Dragon fire.
As you start a fire, it easily catches. The little bit meager bits of wood you have is supplemented by fat and bits of gristle and human chunks that they start throwing on the fire to keep it going. It makes a disgusting smell of human flesh burning, but for the most part, it elongates your fire a little bit.
I was going to do a head count. Are all of our people here, or did some of them run away?
All 7 of them are still here. Even the one with the jittery eyes, you might have turned him. You might have made a true believer. But yeah.
I wanted to question them and say, so with Brutus gone, will they come looking for it?
More than likely, but it'll probably take a few days.
Okay. I see.
Like, they send us out on scouting missions for a couple days. They send us with a few slave rations, and we butcher and go as we need, and then we come back with what we have. And they point to some of the clay pots, the bundles of wood, and scraps of metal and things they found. So. But
Is anybody cooking?
no one seems to be cooking right now. They're all just huddled around a fire, like glad to be out of the wet.
Okay.
It's over in the
I
fire.
Guess, I'd take some time. I'd pull out one of my pots that I grabbed, and I guess I'll look over at the 2 party members that I care about, and I'll be like, are we going to stay here for a while, or are we going to push forward?
How much of a sense of time do we have? How tired are we? Are we still?
Been only going for about a half a day.
Okay. I say dry off for a bit, maybe continue.
Okay. In that case, I take off my socks. I wring out the nasty water, and I drape them next to the fire to get them dried out.
They are all watching. They're like, wow. He's like, dude, he has socks? Holy shit, this guy's rich as fuck. Dude, rich. Bro. He's got socks and shoes, and they match. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. You start to do camp life stuff, taking care of your equipment and your stuff. They slowly take some of the wood, file some of it down, put the shavings under the fire to keep it stoked and things like that, and start just taking some of the meat, layering it over the sticks, just cooking it slowly. It's unnerving. I need all of you to give me a will save. The smell of cooking flesh when you're not in the middle of a combat starts to grip hold of your brain buckets. A 24 for Horus and Voth. Both of you are unfazed by the cooking of sentient life as food. Ondol, it's unnerving to you. It's a little unnerving. It's not end of the world. You understand the circumstance, but you have a feeling that this can't go on for long. It's going to break you if you eat people. It's not something you want to do. The other 2 of you understand. Eat or die. This is what we got to do right now.
Of course, the dragon would eat a human.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, get the fuck out of here!
I was actually going to say, once the meat starts coming out and I take a bite out of it, I'll look over at Abaddon and kind of click my teeth, and then I'll just throw the piece of meat at him.
Snaps it out of the air without any question, and then you see he goes back to like the foot he's gnawing on, He's just like, yeah, I found this one. This one's mine.
I tell
the-
Zeus to eat his fill as well.
Okay. Now we're going to get to the part of the story which I like, and I'm glad we're recording for, because then I can go back and look at it, because I like to do it in the moment. Nick, cooking. Tell us a story, a memory that you now know of your character and cooking. It can be the smell of something you remember. It could be something. This is a chance for you to build to your backstory. So tell me something. It doesn't have to be long. It can be short and sweet, but it reminds you of something from your past. Tell us what it is.
I can remember the kitchen. It wasn't vast, but it was busy. I can smell fresh bread, as well as something cooking on a spit. It was comforting, but at the same time stressful because you're trying not to burn anything. But that cook of meat just reminds me of that moment.
As you're sitting there, like, that moment of comfort, you hear something. The back of your head, just kind of like, that adds to the memory. Don't take swords to the table, young man. Put Frostfang on the wall.
Well, that means something to me. Okay.
Brett, as you are disgusted by this, Ondol kind of has a memory, kind of a remembrance of something. Similar to how Nick did his, there's a chance for you to add to your backstory. In this moment, you were so just off put by the horror of the situation. You understand it, but it's still bad. Tell us about a good memory, a good time you had food. You know, how it's supposed to be, how this scene should play out, how you all should share a meal. How does your character remember that?
I remember. Okay, I remember the freshness of the food that I would eat. Fresh hunt for meat. Pure though. Nothing tainted. Fruits, vegetables, plenty bountiful. Cleanly harvested. Whatever memory I have of food in general, it seemed to come from a place that, once again, had nothing that would taint the food at all. It was fresh, you could tell. As far as surrounding people, I remember, laughing faces, smiling, talking about a hunt, talking about a good times, no negativity, right? It was, Thanksgiving vibes.
I got you. Okay. Large family
Together,
gathering,
together,
or
pretty large from what I can remember.
okay.
Whether they be family or friend, I don't recall, but pretty large. And everyone seemed to have. It was like a tribe. Everyone was getting along. There was no quarrel.
I like it. For you, the memory is comforting. It's like, oh man, I miss that. I don't remember all of it, but I remember that. You see familiar. White cloth with gold trim, pristine, silver, platinum, precious metals as serving dishes, carafes for water and alcohol, things along those lines. Every face you see is angular and beautiful and fair. Long pointed ears, long beautiful hair. Almost intertwined with nature as they speak to you in Elven. Does your character speak Elven?
Yes.
Does he speak Orc?
Yes.
Does he speak Sylvan?
No.
You now speak Sylvan.
Oh, cool. Okay.
As you unlock a connection to just the culture that you were in, family is important, tradition's important, and you definitely didn't come from meager means, as you had platinum plates and stupid shit like that. Greg, in this moment, Voth is kind of, picking at food, looking at your dragon, kind of learning the intricacies of how to utilize every part of the body from these poor souls that have been living this life longer than you. Tell us what you remember about preparing things, food, potions, whatever you want it to be. Tell us the act of preparing things for you. Is it heating it up? Is it cooking it? What does that look like?
For what little I've learned of my character, I imagine I more go down a line in a mess hall, and I just basically go and get just stuff, kind of maybe some small amount of choice, but just basically, slap on, slap on, slap on. But the food actually is rather decent for it. Doesn't look good, but it tastes good. Almost kind of just like a lot of it's, I imagine, more goopy.
Okay. You think back to this assembly line of food, kind of cafeteria style. It's, you just remember there was no cooking; it was already pre-done. That's the big takeaway from this. But the one thing you do remember is you just kind of thinking back to those moments, and you look up to see the different people around you, all dressed the same. For all intents and purposes, they are the same, identical. Hundreds of them. Comforting, familiar, pre-packaged, pre-done. Everything as it should be. For those of you who are confused as to this point, all of the characters woke up with amnesia and don't remember anything except for small bits of their past that I gave them to give them a focus on where they're going. So as we progress the story, they're going to tell me what their backstory is. It can be anything they want, and then I'll give them the yes and add a little bit of little guiding hands to put them into some parameters I feel benefit them the best. But for the most part, they have free reign. So that was good. You all gain a hero point. On top of the 3 you normally have, you can have a bonus one that use it and it's gone. So you have a temporary 4th hero point for now. And that'll persist until you use it. You will never get another one on top of that, so it's your +1. You can utilize it if you want to or not. Up to you. And hero points are used as in the Pathfinder system, not the way we use them, right? But usually it's like, I'm going to blow 2 and do some dumb fucking shit. Cool beans, that's usually what it's there for. So. All right. So we've been going about 2.5 hours. You guys want to keep going, or you call it here, or what do you want to do? I can keep going, so it's up to you.
I'd say we go a little longer.
Fair.
I'm down to go farther. Yeah.
All right. Intrepid adventurers. Here we go. All right. So as you all gather around, you all kind of have these memories of thinking about where, how, things along those lines. The individuals here they've kind of on one side of the fire, you guys are on the other, but you're still talking to each other, things like that. You can see some of them start to just whisper among themselves. Definitely talking, trying to not be heard by all of you.
How big is this place?
Maybe 15 feet by 20 feet.
Okay. Would it be noticeable if Zerson was trying to listen to them instead of me?
I'm imagining he's always passively trying to listen into things.
Okay.
So you can have him make a perception check. It's going to be like a DC 18, so.
That's fine.
They're trying to be quiet.
This will have a +2 to it because my sheet's broken. Didn't matter. Cool.
They're quiet enough that it's very hard for him to make out exact noises.
Is it obvious to us that they're all whispering among themselves, though?
You catch it every now and then.
Okay. I'll just, as we're kind of eating, be like, "Why do you whisper? Speak."
They caught, like hand in the cookie jar for a moment. They look at you, and they go, "Trying to decide what we do next. We are not useful to you. Some of us wish to stay, but not all of us. Some of us would rather taste what freedom this place offers for a few moments." He nods at one. He says, "That one wishes to just start over. Their body is broken and frail." He looks, the one that they mentioned to, he looks just about the same as all of them, but he goes, "I am a warrior by trade. I've been broken in this body, in this life. I would gladly die and grant you what I have so I could be born again. If I see you, you will have my respects."
This I can grant you. So some of you wish to stay in this territory and the rest wish to taste freedom. Do you wish to travel with us or to just travel and see what else there is? We head towards the tower.
So as you pause at the question, one of them wants to die. He's like, this body's not good. I don't want to. He's like, I'd rather just, I know I can die and restart. I'd rather do that than try to keep going on this body. So he's in. Out of the 6 remaining, because there's 7 of them, it's 3-3. You have a split. You basically have 3 that are like, I don't think staying with you is going to be good for our health. But I also don't want to. I don't want to be here. I want to be as far away from here, and I want to take my chances, right? And then 3 of them are like, the main dude you've been talking to, the guy who was like at first skittish, who's now like, yeah, oh yeah, and then just one additional one. They're like, oh no, yeah, I'll follow you guys. You're strong. We don't have any question. We don't have any qualms in your ability, and you've treated us well, which is wild for this area. They say most people kill right off the chance. You travel with strange beasts and control incredible powers. The main dude keeps calling you guys angels. He's like, I would follow the angels anywhere. So you got a split party, and one guy who's like, I'm gonna fucking off myself. I'll wait till you guys are gone, unless you guys want to use my body. But
I'll look over at Sloth and I'll be like, well, if you're going to end it quickly, at least let him do it with some dignity. And I walk over to Abaddon and I kind of run my hand across his coat and I find a scale that's loose and I pull it off.
He hisses at you for a second, but yeah.
I go over to the dude that wants to die and I kind of take a moment and I put it in my hands and I kind of put my hands together like I'm thinking of something and I'm like, it's there, but it's not. And I don't know why. And I kind of just take a moment and I focus really, really hard on it as I'm trying to give him kind of that last rites kind of thing, but I don't remember the prayer. And I'm just trying to focus on it. And I let my halo out for a moment as I'm trying to focus on it. And I just keep rubbing my hands back and forth on it. And then I hand him the scale and I'm like, I don't know why. I don't remember the words, but the intent is there. I hope it helps.
Give me a wisdom save, because this is like a forced memory. You're trying to force a memory. Actually, you guys haven't used your one yet, so this will be your one. Still give me a wisdom save, because we'll see if it hurts to remember it.
Oh no. Can I use a hero point to re-roll that?
I'm sure you can, yeah.
Then I'm gonna do
Yeah, I
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
Hero points work in this.
Can you double check for me, Greg? Actually, can you roll
Yeah,
lawyer this
no
for me?
idea how
they work. Let's hope they work, 'cause that's
He's
a
like,
great
oh,
fucking
we're
roll."
gonna, well, yeah. Maybe that.
Spend one hero point to reroll a check. You must use the second result. This is a fortune effect. Spend all of your points to avoid death.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So generically, they're just a reroll, but it's not like
my
the
s-
advantage reroll unless we want to
Oh,
make it.
thank
up.
God. So my second
Much better.
roll is a 24.
That's a lot
level
better.
one.
That's
Yeah.
incredibly a lot better.
So,
This is a weird memory. It feels different. It doesn't feel like you're alive or waking. It just feels like you're witnessing something. There's a form in front of you. A cloaked figure with a big sword. Sword's sheathed and wrapped in cloth. So no adornments or anything are really shown. You can even see the crossguard and the blade. Everything's just wrapped. He's like wrapped like he's holding it. It's cold outside, but they don't shiver. It's winter, and this form is just huddled around a small little bonfire. The bonfire's too nice a word. A little campfire. And inside that campfire, there is, just the wood and stuff burning and crackling. But you can see the form is just whispering quietly into this fire. And what he whispers to the fire responds, grows in size, a little bit of warmth. The words you're trying to say, not in a perfect string, but you start to pick onesie twosies out of there, and you start to piece together the prayer. Tell me what the prayer is, Nick. It's a very short one, like 2 lines, but it's a rite of passage or a final rite. And I will finish the last line.
Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, yes, you are. And I'm like, all right, what am I going with here?
Tell me how your character thinks he would pray. That's basically the thing I would try to make you fucking come up with.
this campaign is also going to test our improv skills. Be ready, boys.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's why I picked you
fucking
3, because
great.
I know you can do it. I would have grabbed Griffin, which we'll see him later in the campaign, more than likely too.
Okay. Faith doesn't necessarily require form, but the burden to do something greater.
The last line that you remember of that is let that greatness kindle this flame. Let this hearth never go out. And the fire in the bonfire quickly turns from just a yellow, red, orange glow to the same color as the runes on your sword. You can see the fire kind of turn into a little pale aqua teal looking green fire, and then the memory fades.
And after I recite the words, I hand him the scale.
I love it. He looks at you as though it is such a foreign concept to have something like this happen. And he looks in, of the two groups, he looks at them, and the ones that are leaving, he spits. He's like, you have a great opportunity and you're squandering this. He's like, looks at you dead in the eyes and he says, I will find you. I will find you all. And I will bring those who wish to tame this place to you.
You say you're a warrior, correct?
Gives a nod.
Zerson, you'll give him his final rites.
Big old dragon boy steps over, and you don't even have to say it. You can feel the heat coming from his chest.
As we leave, you two will fight, and I'll look to this man. I'll be like, fight as hard as you can. Do not worry, Zerson.
He picks up he reaches over and grabs one of the sharp sticks, and he goes, indeed. Stands up. And then the other three, the other three, they're like, this is some epic shit. Like, they're like, oh fuck, we should write this down or some shit. Yeah, that's
to the three
good.
that are leaving, I'll be like, you three, you swore an oath, and I release it from you. However, I require another. You must not speak to any of the other masters of who we are and what you've done. Swear this.
They, without hesitation, swear that. They're like, an act of kindness easily repaid. Not a problem. You get the feeling it's very sincere. They feel like you guys are going somewhere where they shouldn't walk. They're not equipped for it. So they graciously, as long as you're cool with it, take one of the bundles and make their way off.
We allow them.
All right. So let it be written. So let it be done. And the three of them leave. The three who are staying pick up and they say their goodbyes to the warrior, who stands, and he walks to one of the corners, and then
So basically how it's going to work is as we're traveling away, so normally an Eidolon can't be more than 100 feet, I'm going to cast Unfetter Eidolon, so it could be longer, or for a bit farther for longer, and basically they're going to duke it out and he's going to disappear and I'm going to resummon him.
Okay. I guess
So
okay,
just so
yeah.
all of his friends
I like
don't have
that.
to hear his dying screams.
I like that fade out where it's like the warrior's gonna put up a fight and you're gonna. I think Zerson would also probably let him land a blow or two. To be like,
if I have to heal myself up, legit. If you want to roll out a couple rounds, I'll take the damage for it.
I think this is one of those things where he gets maybe Zerson gets a killing blow, but he also gets a hit. So probably take a few points of damage, but
sure,
not gonna take much from a
he
sharp rock.
He got a good fiber in.
Yeah, he got
a
little something, little stabby stab, but yeah. Okay. With that, oh man, that was a very good. I can't wait till you guys figure everything out, because that's such a good fucking scene for me. Walking away from this, honestly, both Voth and fucking Ondol, I need you guys to make wisdom saving throws, because you guys both just triggered some shit for both of you. So Voth, totally good, 25, and then Ondol, when you can, wisdom saving.
No Hit the will save.
Yeah.
Will save.
Will save. Yeah, sorry.
I always get confused.
Yeah, fucking
bad.
5e ruined me on the use
I
of
know.
14. All right, so neither of you take damage from this. We'll start with Ondol. This act of a warrior going out like a warrior reminds you, or just fills you with a sense of pride that is so familiar. Like, you were that guy. You were, I'm a warrior, I will die on my feet kind of guy. You were, I understand this, the assignment that's given to me, and I'll die with my boots on if I have to, but I will go out doing what I want to do. You have flashes of back. You had them before already with the two blades going in and swinging and slicing through creatures. That scene plays in your head again, but it focuses and it slows. And you see one sword swing out and across and cut the throat of a vile, red-skinned, snarling creature with pointed fanged teeth, big red black eyes, fire from its skin, wings, looks like some sort of hell spawn, like you would imagine it, not like you have not seen here. Some random hell spawn, and then the other, you see you flick the blade and it rolls around the top to a backhanded grip as you lance it through what you can only tell is a creature made of sticks and twigs and fey-like wild magic pouring off it as it screams and explodes. You move your hand and you can see that white cloth wrapped around your hand as you deflect the magic away and you continue forward, fighting as you just see hordes and hordes of these creatures still pouring onto you. There's just more of them, and you just reach into the fray, ready to go, both weapons ablaze. As you're just like, he knows he's not going to win. He's facing an unsurmountable enemy, but he goes anyway. And you have that connection, and you can kind of, you go, okay, I got that. That's a fucking warrior. That guy has a little bit of himself left. This place hasn't tore him all down. Even though he was a slave and beaten down and tore apart, he still had that. You guys lit that little fire in him, and he was able to fucking be like, I can go out how I want to go out rather than this place is going to force me to go out, right? And you kind of connect with that. And then, Voth, as you are the one to give this person a warrior's death by letting them fight your soul.
Fight a fucking dragon.
Fight a dragon to
Great
death.
fucking
Right?
way to go out.
Yeah. What a G'd up way to go, man. Like straight up.
Get up in that house and they're like, how'd you die? Fighting a dragon?
Dragon?
Ah, beer for you, man.
He's at the cool kids table. He's over there. He's over there with the big dogs. You have just a moment where you can see, again, looking through history, looking through books, and you see an ancient looking picture. It's like this is a real book with a real picture in it, and it has strong feminine looking commander, and she stands there with a bastard sword up to the top of her thing, long jet black hair, black and gray armor, and you just have this vision of that's my ancestor or something. That is a warrior. And as you flip the pages, fighting a dragon, the very next page flips, descending into a great fiery battle against some crazy demonic looking forces. Flip the page. You see a great parade with laurels and medals being put around their neck, and banners waving everywhere, and what looks like a grateful monarch right beside them, very praising them and giving them this praise. And you're like, you gave this warrior an accolade. That's something that you've been given, and you know that's you guys both struck an accord there, warrior to warrior. And yeah, so that's what you get. Good roll on the 25. All of you did pretty good on those ones. But a lot of you. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
One thing I'm gonna note. So after he's kind of done the deed, I'll resummon him. His companions will just kind of see him just kind of appear. Or these other guys, everybody will see him just kind of appear. They'll see the small wound, kind of on where he got bloodied by him, and then everybody within. Let's see. You'll see me pulse the 30-foot emanation as I'm gonna cast heal.
Boom. It washes over everybody, and you all feel whatever wounds you might have had. So I know Ondal had a little bit of ouchie.
Yeah.
Hits you, hits the three that follow you, and yeah,
It's
pretty
D8
good.
plus 8, so pretty sure they'll just full heal just about any of us
Yeah.
right now.
The three of them pop like a blood duster. Too much heal on my body. It is all good. But yeah, out of control. I love it. And you continue forward. That's all I had planned. I could ad-lib some stuff, or we can call it here. You guys
Probably a good place to stop then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather you prepare for the next.
I know what the next like 3 things are. I just don't have them like slotted up. I really want to do a battle map for the next one and not just the play map. So I want because it'll be fun.
These first few are still very freeform.
Yeah.
We're getting level 2, right?
Tonight, yeah, you will. You get.
Sweet.
I think you get another. You'd get a little over. So I think it was. I calculated it out. You had 500 something, and you got like 525 or something like that. So you're probably like just put yourselves 30%, 30 over. So you only need 970 more experience to hit the next level.
Sweet.
So that will do it. And you guys ding level 2. Yeah, and you got your first taste of describing bits of your backstory. You got which netted you a hero point. You've learned a little bit about your items, which are quite useful. You've fucking liberated and then empowered some people to do their own shit. The big thing is you sparked hope where there was none. That is huge. I literally gave you like 150 experience for that alone. So that was pretty good. Because I did have another like side ambush plan that was 150. And I was like, they don't need it. They just fucking they beat the D&D like feels game. So that's pretty good.
Good. You spoke up at the perfect time, Brett, because I was literally just about to massacre.
God, yeet him.
I saw it coming. I saw it coming.
Mhm.
I was like, let's
I
take
felt
a
it.
different approach
I
for
felt
once
it.
in our life. Let's just take
It's
a
like
different
they asked for it, and I mean,
And they
it's
did.
a long way out of the way to go over there. So I
They
mean,
did.
kill the masters. That seems like a big task.
Yeah.
Kill 'em
Hey, can
all.
you
They seem to
dismantle
have-
this
Yeah.
this established thing in this horrible city? Yeah, probably gonna take a
That's
minute.
a lot of
yeah.
work. You guys are all so cool with me just ending you. I can do that. That's pretty. Like, I've got time right now.
That's the easy win. That's a big dub right there.
Try to change the story.
All right.
I've never been the murder hobo type this campaign. I very much will.
You will have ample opportunities to be A, on the move, and B, murder in mass. So it's all good. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. This will be popping up next Thursday again about the same time. I think we're still kind of hashing out the perfect start time, but it's usually going to be around 8:39, right? Arizona time. So I will update all that shenanigans, and I'll start to promote this a little bit. This one's going to be on YouTube here in the next couple days, and we'll go from there. So stand by, wait for some more folks. There's going to have we'll probably have some guest appearances from some familiar faces and things like that pretty soon. So, and let's hope you guys can make it out of hell without getting too murdered. So, all right, we'll catch you all later. Have a good night. Adios. That one, and then